Chapter 9. In this video, we're going over arithmetic series. So find the finite sum of the following sequence. So sequence is the sequence of numbers, and remember series are the sum of these values. So we're not just finding the sum, we're not just finding like the sequence here. All we're doing is adding all of these values together. So 4 plus 10 plus 16 plus 22. And we're adding all of these until we get to 52. And of course, we have a formula to make this a lot easier on us. So that formula for the arithmetic series is going to be S sub n is equal to n times the first term a1 plus the last term an. And we're dividing all of that by 2. And let's get a little legend to see what exactly we're going to need for this. So geometrics or arithmetic sum. So sum of the first n terms. So that's the sequence of that, or the series of that sequence. N is the term number. Next, we have A1. So A1 is the first term. And lastly, we have AN. AN is the last term. So the last term of that sequence. Okay, so from here, the sum of the first n terms. All right, let's start plugging in everything that we have so far, just so we know what it is that we need. So we have S sub n is equal to n. We don't have n yet. A1 is going to be the first term of the sequence. All right, we have that. Plus an, it's the last term that we have in the sequence. So that's 52, and we're dividing that by 2. So we would technically be done, but we don't know what n is. So we have to know what n is in order to find the sum of those values. So we could easily find that by finding the general term. We have to do a little bit of background work. So we have to find the general term, figure out what term this is, so that way we have an n to plug in right here. So with that, we have A sub n is equal to, let's get the arithmetic sequence. A1 plus n minus 1 times d. An is equal to, A1 is the first term. So we're grabbing that. N minus 1, we don't know what n is yet, so we're just going to leave that right there. And d, our common difference. Let's see what the difference is. So that difference between those two, 10 minus 4 is 6. So it looks like we added 6 to get this one. 16 minus 10 is also 6. So 10 plus 6 is what gave us this one. And let's see what we have here just to make sure. 22 minus 16 is equal to 6. So 16 plus 6 is what gave us that 22. So it looks like our common difference is 6. So we're going to plug 6 in right here. Let's simplify it and see what we have so far. A sub n is equal to 4 plus 6n minus 6. A sub n is equal to 6n minus 2. So if we plug 1 in, we get 4. All right, looks good. So this is the general term of our sequence. And what we have is the nth term. What we could do is plug it in here just to see what n ends up being. So let's replace it and figure out what n is. So 52 is equal to 6n minus 2. 6n is equal to 54. And it looks like n is equal to 9. So 54 divided by 6 gives us 9. So now we have n. N is equal to 9. We could replace these over here with 9 just so we could find that arithmetic sum. So S sub 9, n is equal to 9. We have 9 times 4 plus 52. And dividing that by 2. We keep simplifying and see what we end up getting. So we have 9 times 56 divided by 2. Looks like 56 is divisible by 2. And we have remainder 28. So now we just have 9 times 28. And let's see what that gives us. Nine times 28. 252. So it looks like the arithmetic sum for this sequence is 252. So one more time, a little recap. We have the finite sum of a sequence, of an arithmetic sequence. We need to figure out what n is, what the first term and what the last term is. And once we have that, we could plug it into our formula and see what we get. So it was really easy to figure out what the last term was, or the first term and the last term were, but we didn't know what n is. So we needed to go back to our general term to figure out what n is. Once we had our general term, we were able to plug this back in and see what value n was whenever we had the value 52 in our sequence. And we came up with n equaling 9. So at that point, we were able to plug it in here, simplify everything. So simplify, 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 and ended up with this. So the sum of these 9 numbers in the sequence end up being 252. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, bye.